Welcome to Winebox TV, New Zealand's most passionate wine program. And today, I actually wasn't going to do the show, but I took this wine home to sample because the lovely lady from Clos Margeurite popped in and just left a couple of samples for us. And one of the guys that works downstairs said, "You've got to try this wine, it's great," and the whole story behind it, and he got really kind of sucked in and everything. And I thought, oh, nothing can be that great. So I took it home. Lizzie wanted kind of a bottle of wine for that evening, and so I thought, oh, okay, I'll just take this home and see how it is. Took it home and was blown away by it. So this has been open from last night. Liz in the end decided she didn't want any Pinot Noir, so kind of like, I just had my little glass and then went to bed. But I was so blown away, I thought I'd bring it back and actually do the whole kind of episode on Clos Margeurite. Now, it's quite, there's a couple, and they're both from Belgium, and Jean Charles, I think, studied in Bordeaux, and he's worked at Chateau Freynel and a couple of other things. Then he did a soil science degree in Belgium itself, so he was pretty into the wine industry prior to his arrival. Marguerite's dad, or grandfather, I think, was a wine merchant or something in Belgium, so they've got a long connection with wine, and they're over here and they're making wine. And Clos Margeurite, it sounds very French, obviously from the French part of Belgium rather than the Flemish side. And he worked initially kind of in Gladstone, and then he's worked for Corbin's, and he worked for Stoneleigh down there, some pretty big names within the wine industry in Marlborough. And then eventually in 2000 they found their own plot and started planting just along the Tree kind of river, so it's free drainage soil, and kind of obviously with his soil science background kind of found the perfect site, or one would hope anyway. I haven't actually tasted the Sauvignon yet, although I've tasted the Pinot. They do their low cropping, 8 tons per hectare for the Sauvignon and 6 for the Pinot, and treat their fruit pretty well. Anyway, let's get into this one. This is the one that I haven't tried, and it's the, I don't know whether you can see there, Clos Margeurite 2008 Sauvignon Blanc from the Tree in Marlborough. It's got a very classic, I almost get a kind of like hint of kind of mint right off the nose, but it's got a classic kind of capsicum kind of nose. Capsicum meets mint. Try saying that when you're drunk. It's actually a lot more texture than I thought it was going to be. You still get that mint and that capsicum through the mouth, but you get that kind of, what I call that Riverstone kind of complexity to it. It's quite minerally. And the acid is really well balanced. I'm quite a fan of that. I do, I like that. For me, that bit worked perfect with shellfish. Holy moly, that's a good start. So I'm going to give that, geez, I've got to give that 90 points. 90 points for Savvy. Gee, I don't think I've ever done that. At least I don't think I've done that. 90 points. Now the next one is the Pinot Noir, and this is the one that I kind of, this is the whole reason for the show. Clos Margeurite. 2008. So it's pretty young. They released pretty young. I can't remember whether I did. No, I didn't. Going mad, getting a bit senile. Get a little bit of kind of an oaty kind of character after the kind of primary fruit, where I almost get a bit of kind of, nothing green, but I get that kind of blackberry, autumnal kind of blackberry, cherry-ish, less of the cherry, but a hint of cherry there. and a bit of raspberry. So it's got a lot of primary fruit, and then I get that kind of bramble kind of character there. I don't know whether you can see that colour. It's a gorgeous kind of ruby colour as well. Now this will rock your socks. This is, if you like Adorangi, and it's slightly hot at the end, but it's an 8. So I'm hoping that'll integrate kind of over time. But if you like Adorangi and all of those kind of big Marlborough wines, this is one for you. I've got a feeling that the Sauvignon retails for about 24, slightly on the high end. I think it's probably only worth about 20. But the Clos Margeurite Pinot, got to say, if you like that kind of classic Marlborough where you get a bit of kind of earthiness to it and a lot of complexity, it's quite dry, you get some really fine kind of tannins. At the moment, this is the whole reason for the show, and I brought it back. I'm really liking this, and I would probably score this 91 points. From Marlborough Pinot, it's pretty good points for a Marlborough Pinot, but the complexity on the palate is phenomenal. I suggest if you can go out and find it. I mean, we don't currently stock it right now, but we are going to stock it. If you can go and find it, well worth the 35, 40, 45 bucks, I think. Well, 30 to 45 bucks. I really have no idea, actually. I'm just talking out the whole. But it's great. I'm going to give it 92 points. So after an absolutely bizarre week that I've had, I've topped it off and ended it and started your week with 2 fantastic wines. And hopefully next week will be better. It was insane, and I'll speak about it a bit later. But thanks once again for tuning in, and I'll catch you later on Wine Vault TV.